Good morning or good afternoon, depending where you are. My name is Darren Joseph from HCG.tax. We're the team that seeks to demystify the sometimes confusing world of international tax compliance, particularly for those who may be US exposed. Have a look at our website. We have over 2,000 articles on our YouTube channel. We have over 1,000 videos that speak to different aspects of international tax for those of you who live that international lifestyle. Today, we're joined by the one and only international tax badass, Mr. Jimmy Sexton, who is based in Dubai. Jimmy, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I have my LLM, but I'm an international tax advisor.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. Where do you set up a company? What are your, I mean, obviously there's a wide array of factors, but what are the key factors you use in counseling your clients as to where you should establish, which jurisdiction you should establish your company?
Well, I mean, I think that's it's a very open-ended question. Much like, if you're going to move out of the United States or move internationally, I can go anywhere. Where do I go? Right? Yeah. I mean, it depends on a lot of factors, right? So, for example, how is that? Like we're talking a little bit about the U.S., right? How is the jurisdiction going to be viewed internationally, right? I mean, if you go to like a super tax haven jurisdiction, and I'm not going to name names, but if you go to a super tax haven jurisdiction, you're going to have problems getting banking. You're going to have problems and even if you can get banking, you're going to have problems transacting business, right? If you're trying to wire, if you have a client in Europe that's trying to wire you money to a bank account held by a company that's from a blacklisted jurisdiction or even a jurisdiction that maybe reputationally isn't so good, that's going to be problematic, right? So I think you need to look at what this company is going to be doing. Where is it going to be receiving income from? Is it going to be a trading company? Is it going to be a holding company? What is the availability of banking going to be? Are there going to be economic substance requirements that requires that company to be operated from within that country, which means that you need to have premises and personnel there? Are tax treaties necessary, right? If it's a holding company and you need to be repatriating dividends or interest or something like that, do you need tax treaties to take advantage of? Or do you need the provisions of the permanent establishment provisions of a tax treaty to protect your company for contacts that it has with a treaty partner country, right? So I think that those are all things that need to be considered when thinking about where to set up a company. And I think also just from a perception standpoint, you need to look at where the owner operator of the company is going to be, right? I mean, it looks a little bit strange to banks and tax authorities and everything else if you live in Germany and you're running a company from the Cayman Islands, right? I mean, it could be a completely legal setup, but it still looks a little funny and might draw questions. So I think you also need to look at it from a perception standpoint of, what kind of fits with the picture that you want to show.
Yeah, and that is definitely true. Too often I have people, approaching us via the website or whatever, and they have these exotic jurisdictions, and I use in air quotes, so jurisdictions that are reputationally challenged, as you mentioned. Yep. And they are, they seem to be partial towards that without understanding the consequences of it. And, the banking, the questions. So yeah, those are indeed key considerations. So it's not just about Googling and looking at the lowest tax and then that's your answer. No, there's a wider array of questions to consider. Okay.
And I mean, I think one of the big things that people miss now is this, the economic substance regulations, right? I mean, pretty much every zero tax jurisdiction has economic substance regulations that require that the core economic or the core income generating activities of the company are done, but from premises and with personnel located in that jurisdiction. And even if you think in terms of a holding company, that the core income generating activities might be as little as a board meeting or two a year, right? But if you don't have people locally there, that requires travel there at least once or twice a year or whatever to do these board meetings. And I think that's something that people often overlook and overlook what the consequences are of not meeting those economic substance requirements.
Or if not, they need to prove, okay, where is the substance? Where are they actually located? Where are they paying taxes? So the whole
Yeah, for
idea
sure.
I'm gonna set something up and pay no taxes nowhere, it's often a non-starter, really.
No,
Yeah.
it's so funny because I think, I don't know if you watched that show on Netflix, The Ozarks, right? Where
Oh
they're
yeah.
routing all this money through Cayman companies and all these companies
I don't
and
know how
opening
that
bank
works.
accounts. Yeah, opening a bank
Yeah.
account through a computer. And I think that people have a very
Yeah.
unrealistic view of how the
Yeah.
international world works, right? I mean, they just
Hmm.
think like it's super easy. You open a company, run money through it, you
Yeah.
don't pay taxes. Well,
Hmm.
that you even though it wasn't legal, you may have been able to do that 15 years ago, but
Yeah.
it doesn't work today.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Ozarks. And we could probably do a separate one when the next season comes out, because
For
that
sure.
is an interesting one from a business structuring perspective.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.